Good morning to all of you.
Good morning, sir.
I'll just mute all of you so that there is no disturbance during the course of the session. I'll allow the unmuting one by one later. Right. I hope I'm audible to everybody. There is no problem. See, today's session is primarily aimed at helping the students who have got a call from EIL. And as you are aware, EIL advertises for two sets of vacancies. One is management training construction, and the other one is management trainee others. The reason why they are segregating it is obviously there is a difference in terms of the profile. Clearly speaking, MT construction would aim the candidates selected to be posted to the various project sites. It doesn't mean that the candidates who are making it to the MT others category, they are going to get a less important profile. Not at all. See, I'm sure as civil engineers, majority of you would be keen to work on project sites so that you actually get a lot of hands-on experience. But when you are getting posted as MT others, whether as a civil engineer, whether as a mechanical engineer, whether as an electrical engineer, the responsibilities, the key responsibilities that you have to play would be in terms of design, in terms of project management, backend management, design, planning, then even in terms of supply chain management in case of contracts of a different kind. And I'm sure all of you are aware that EIL is one of the most diversified consulting companies. And in the year 1965, when it was formed with an agreement with BEC, Bechtel Engineering Consultants, right? And it is not wrong to say that EIL is the Bechtel of India. You can always make that assumption. And in terms of the projects also, when we go through the list of projects, you will notice that EIL has to its credit majority of the refineries which are operating in India. They are into pipelines, they are into refineries, they are into chemical plants, they have diversified into ports, they have diversified into EPC contracts, and there is one more addition. There is EPCM also, the management, right? It is not just engineering, procurement, and construction, but also management. See, my association with EIL started off probably in the year 1982-83 when I was working with Wipro. And at Wipro, we had sold a system to their planning department. And EIL was actively engaged. In fact, they were the EPC contractors for Nalco. And Nalco was at that time in the stage of being set up at Angul and Damanjodi. And they were doing the tender floating, they were doing the evaluation of bids, they were doing the selection, acceptance testing, and even to the extent of when the installation is carried out, they would engage themselves in ensuring that the installation has been done correctly. And I'm talking only about the computer system part. Obviously, the scope of work was enormous as far as EIL is concerned. And there was a dedicated planning department which continues to be there. They have a very, very major procurement department. They have a very major planning department. And obviously, the project team is most diversified. I'll make use of a few slides. A lot of contents which I'm going to be using today are going to be available to you in the form of PDFs or in the form of links. They will be mailed to all of you who have submitted their details on, let's say, Google Forms. Those of you who have not submitted, obviously, we'll post the links once again in the various Telegram groups so that you can submit it once again and you don't miss out on any other aspect, right? I'll just take a minute. I'll switch on the YouTube also from my other device so that I can see if there is any comment or otherwise coming, right? Just give me a minute. I'm switching on the YouTube where this session is being streamed live. A couple of questions have been posted on the YouTube stream. One question is EIL electrical shortlisting aa gaya hai kya? I would say the answer is probably yes, because the list of candidates who have submitted their particulars also include electrical engineers. And till what rank are there actual chances for CE for MT others? Again, they have already issued the calls. So if you are shortlisted, my answer is yes, you stand a chance. The reason is, even though there is 85% weightage for gate score, but then there is 15% weightage for GD and interview. They are conducting group discussion, they are conducting interview. And incidentally, both these activities, they are completed on the same day. It is not that they spill over to 2 days or something like that. No, they are conducted on the same day, which means that we'll invite you for one more session, which will be for GD preparation. And I'll see if it is possible to be scheduled today evening itself from 8 p.m. Otherwise, we'll plan it out for the same time tomorrow morning, right? But then that is also going to be important for you. It's useful. It's a very useful session. There are some very finer points that you need to be aware of when you are participating in any group discussion session conducted by a PSU. They are a lot different from the GDs that you might have participated in when you were in college, fighting for a place in the campus interviews. So that's the reason why it is important. That's why it's very, very important. Okay. Uh, Focus on the content of this discussion today. Let's not worry about whether I have a chance to get selected with this rank or that rank. Let's not go in that. Try to absorb as much as possible from today's session, right? Let me just switch on the PPT also, because there are some reference points which I'll be using. So might as well make use of that to help you guys in getting the better of things. The cutoff data for 2015 is not available. 2026 is not available. I do have the cutoff data for 24 and 25, but that is history. Let's not even spend time on that. I was trying to make a slide, but then I decided that let's not waste time on that. Let's straight away come to the brass tacks and make use of the time effectively. You will have ample time to get your doubts clarified. I'll not close the session till every single doubt of yours has been taken into consideration, right? Getting to go. I hope all of you have joined with your actual name, because I'll not be able to unmute those students who have joined with a phone name or any other pseudonym. It's something which is always expected that you will use your own name. Uh, Today, what we are going to cover is information about Engineers India Limited, important aspects, which subjects to be prepared. The reason why I'm listing out all these things is because they form a part of your interview process. So the title of this slide says preparing for interview. What all to be prepared for interview? Very clearly, you should have some knowledge about EIL, the organization per se, because if they ask you anything related to the organization and you draw a blank, definitely it will not make the right presentation about your capabilities. They will look at you as a candidate who is not interested in EIL. In other words, he has not even tried to spend 10 minutes on our website to know what we are really. So that's the reason why knowing about the organization is important. 1965 was the year of birth of EIL. That's pretty important to know, right? Who is the chairman and managing director of EIL? Uh, who are the other functional directors may not be very important, but at least know the name of the chairman and managing director, right? What are the key areas of operations of EIL, under which administrative ministry does it come? It comes under the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, right? Reason all their major projects are in that arena only. They'll try to test your subject knowledge, particularly when you are shortlisted for MT others. Then there can be questions about you, your personality, your education, your knowledge. In EIL interview, there can be finite set of questions related to project and internship. There is one question which comes to the mind of some students. Sir, we did not have BTech project, or we were given the option either do a BTech project or do a extra course. I opted for the extra course. Fair enough. When they ask you, you can always say, sir, we did not have project work mandatory. Instead, they said that you can do extra course. And I opted for the second alternative, which is I did an extra course on this particular topic. Give the name of the course. May or may not be relevant to EIL, but then that is the truth that you are stating. And that is something which is very important. Why it is important? Because they will catch the fake responses without any effort on their part. End of the day, you are appearing for the EIL interview, maybe maximum of second time. You might have been shortlisted last year and you're shortlisted once again. But the members sitting opposite you, the panel sitting opposite you, they are seasoned people with, if there are 3 or 4, let's say there are 4 panel members, they are sitting with a collective experience of not less than 50 man years. So give due respect for their knowledge and experience, which means they are experts in catching your fake responses. Achievements, they may ask you, achievements can be academic achievements, achievements can be related to the work that you have been doing. In case you have worked anywhere in the past, achievements can be related to maybe in extracurricular activities, in sports, or any other area. Be ready to articulate in precise terms. There is no point in giving verbose answers. Verbose answers do not, keep the panel glued to you. They start losing interest to you if your answers are very long. So avoid giving very long answers. Be precise. Answer the question that has been asked. They ask you, gentlemen, what are your hobbies? Sir, I have lot of hobbies. I really enjoy doing variety of things. आपने हॉबी नहीं बताई अभी तक. आपने ये कहानी सुना दी कि जी मेरी बहुत सारी हॉबीज है, मैं बहुत अलग अलग चीजें करता हूं. क्या करते हो? Specify. Sir, I enjoy reading books in my spare time. And I enjoy going for long walks whenever time permits me. Acceptable. कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Some students say, sir, walking can be a hobby. Definitely it can be a hobby. The reason why walking is a hobby is because when you are going for a walk, you are spending time with yourself close to nature, maybe. And that is a time to refreshen your mind. That is a time when you can probably do the planning for the rest of the day in case you're going for a morning walk. In case you go for an evening walk, then in that case, you are doing the summary of the activities done throughout the day. What were the positives? What were the negatives? This is something which you are doing by yourself. There is nobody else engaged in this activity. That means walk gives you a lot of time for introspection. Can be stated, can be stated. There can be questions related to your strengths and weaknesses. Usually, when you are talking about yourself, don't highlight your strengths and weaknesses yourself. Unless they ask you, don't talk about strengths and weaknesses. And don't even utter the word called SWOT analysis. Sir, I have done my own SWOT analysis. And according to that, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, these are the opportunities that I see for myself, and these are threats which come in way of my achieving those, making use of those opportunities. Don't ever get into that tangent. They'll look at each other, they will smile, and then they will know that here is a candidate who is going to be grilled thoroughly. Avoid getting into that terrain, right? There can be questions about your family, but again, keep it strictly to your parents and your siblings. And that too, the content should be limited to their occupation, not more than that. So my father is working in a public sector bank. He is presently posted as a manager of State Bank of India, XYZ branch. So my mother is a housewife. I have a younger brother who is pursuing his BTech in electrical engineering from NIT Allahabad. Fair enough, more than sufficient. There is no need to try to highlight, sir, I'm from a rural background. I have a very humble background. There was a lot of difficulty in even arranging for two ends meet. They are not impressed. They are not impressed. And this will not give any sympathy marks to you. So don't even get into that, right? Hobbies and extracurricular activities, again, usually when they ask for it. Usually when they ask for it. You will realize the importance of making these bullet points when I come to one more slide, which I'm going to be sharing with you, right? There could be questions related to the current news connected with EIL or the activities of EIL, which means predominantly the news related to oil sector. And obviously, in today's scenario, oil sector is in news, primarily because of the US-Iran war that is going on. It has affected the supply lines for petroleum products almost throughout. India is affected, there is no doubt about it. Even though India is exploring alternate routes, India is exploring alternate suppliers, and India is getting it also. But there has been a lot of devastation that has been caused due to the Iranian bombing. There could be an opportunity for Indian organizations in the reconstruction of the damaged infrastructure, particularly related to oil and gas in the Middle East. There is a very recent important news today that UAE has decided to disassociate itself from OPEC as well as OPEC Plus. What is OPEC? OPEC is Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, right? The mandate of OPEC as an organization, as an apex body, was that all the oil producing countries, producing and exporting countries, they used to decide collectively how much production should be done, how much production of crude and gas should be done. In other words, regulating the price for the buyers. See, always it's a demand and supply situation. If demand is more, supply is less, the prices go up. And that is what was the mandate of this OPEC. That is what they used to do when they were finding going tough. They would squeeze the production, increase the prices. The buyers have no choice because obviously beggars can't be choosers. But then UAE has decided to break away from OPEC so that they decide their own pricing and they connect with their customers directly rather than follow the cartel of OPEC countries, right? This is a very recent news. In fact, yesterday itself, this was announced, and in today's newspaper, it's covered everywhere. So do remain in touch with these kinds of news because there could be questions related to that in EIL. I mean, there could be questions related to it in even the other organizations connected with the oil and gas, which is IOCL, HPCL, BPCL, ONGC, Mangalore Petrochemicals. All these are the ones which are directly and indirectly connected with the oil and gas sector. So this is an aspect which you must be clearly reading about, right? Today, what we are going to do, I have listed 5 bullet points. One is discussion about dress, entry, exit, greeting, possible flow of questions, preferred subjects to be prepared, and how to handle some of the difficult questions. One option before me is that I spend full time on every single point, which means I stretch to about 2.5 to 3 hours. The other alternative is I have already covered all these aspects in details in another session which I had covered for ONGC. The video for that is available in the MadeEasy YouTube channel, where every single aspect has been covered threadbare. I'll suggest that you can go through that. In fact, I'll show you a glimpse of that video. Plus, when we are talking about some of the HR questions, there are a few questions which definitely have to be handled with reference to the context of EIL. So we'll do that. We'll do that. It saves you time. You can watch it at leisure. But my point is, yes, you can watch it at leisure. But when you're watching that video, about 1.5 hours total duration, don't engage yourself in any other activity. Watch it, make your notes so that you are able to get those points at the top of the mind recall. I'm going to play a small clipping of that video just for your information. I'll post the link of the YouTube channel video in the mail that I'll be sending to you. It'll be very useful for you to watch that, right? Plenty of useful material is going to be shared with you, the technical material also, as well as the non-technical aspects. Please go through it, and I'm sure it will help you in getting a very good score in your interview and obviously in the group discussion that you are participating in. It's a mandatory part of the selection process. There is a doubt in the minds of some of the students. Sir, is GD elimination round? The answer is no, it is not elimination round. After the document verification, they'll start forming groups of candidates, maybe 7 or 8 candidates in one group for GD. And then immediately after the GD is over, one by one, the same candidates will be called for interview. There may be multiple such groups which are being conducted simultaneously. But even if you speak less in GD, it does not mean that you do not get an opportunity to appear for the interview. You are getting the opportunity to appear for the interview, irrespective of your performance in GD. But then there is one organization where GD is an elimination round. In fact, one of the very, very few organizations where GD is an elimination round, and that organization is HPCL, Hindustan Petrochemicals Limited, right? HPCL, GD is elimination. Another company which is co-promoted by HPCL, that is HRRL, HPCL Rajasthan Refineries Limited, which is being set up in Rajasthan near Barmer. They also have GD or case study as an elimination. But for the time being, EIL, it is not elimination round. So just relax about that. All right. Let me stop for a moment and come out with the video. I'll just share that video for a moment so that you can get an idea about what is being covered. As I said, it's the session for ONGC interview guidance, and that is what it is. I'll just play. Just let me know if the audio is clear. Preferred dress for this interview process, the entry, exit, and greeting, the possible flow of questions, the preferred list of subjects to be prepared, and how to handle some difficult questions. These are primarily the non-tech questions I'm talking about, or the HR questions as you normally use the terminology, right? There is a list of 12, 13, 14 questions which I have already prepared. I'll just show it to you in a while. Go through those list of questions, and in case there is a question which is over and above, please note it down in your notepad. And when we are through with our coverage, definitely I'll ask some of you to unmute, those of you who are connected on the Zoom, or if you have posted that particular question in the YouTube channel, then I'll take it up to that. Okay, so it is getting covered. Be assured of that. Be assured of that, right? I'll connect one of my devices to the YouTube also so that I can see the chat and not miss out on any of them. But please don't send any messages right now. Right now, I'll not be able to see any of the questions. So let's start with the dress. Okay, you can always watch it on your own. There is no problem at all. There is absolutely no problem at all, right? We'll continue with our coverage. There is another thing when you are sending any messages, please send a message to everyone rather than sending a private message. Okay. Somebody has written on the YouTube chat. I don't know how they are selected, but person with 280 rank not get selected. How is it possible? My dear friend, it is very much possible. The reason why it is very much possible is because he might not have done well enough in the interview. There is a minimum cutoff score which is required in the GD plus interview. I'm not saying interview individually, but GD plus interview. So when somebody does not cross that minimum threshold, then despite having a gate rank 1, that person may not get selected. It's possible. It's possible. Typically, the cutoff for interview, GD plus interview put together by PSUs in general, I'm using the term in general, is 40%. So if 15 marks are allocated for GD plus interview, then a candidate who has to be in the wait list must get at least 40%. That means he must score at least 6 out of 15. If he or she fails to get the 6 marks, even though his gate score, gate rank might be 1, he will not get selected. I can give a live example. I'll not name the person, but somebody, an electronics engineering candidate with a gate rank of single digit, was shortlisted by ONGC for AEE electronics. He appeared for the interview. The cutoff requirement for ONGC for his category was 60%. That means he was expected to get 9 marks out of 15 if he has to be in the race for even a waitlist. His performance was so great, I'm talking in the negative sense, very arrogant behavior during the interview, and he did not get even 9 marks. The panel decided to make sure that he never gets selected, even if he makes to the, even if his gate rank is 8 or 9 or whatever. Cutoff was 9 marks. He was given 8.5 marks, even though his total score was above the cutoff score, overall above overall cutoff score, but he did not make it to the final list. The reason, he was not crossing the threshold required for interview. So the answer to the question which somebody named GHub 3074 has put, this is the reason why they do not make it. This is the reason why they do not make it, right? Okay. Carrying forward, I'm going back to the slide share. Right. See, typically your interview may begin with tell us something about yourself, right? Again, I'm not spending time here. It has been covered fully well in the ONGC session. You'll get absolute clarity about how to frame an answer. I'll quickly talk about if I were to give the answer as a person who is appearing for the EIL interview. Obviously, I'm not talking about today's context. My answer will start with, Sir, I completed my BTech in 1976 with an aggregate score of 82.8%, having done my schooling from my hometown, which is Delhi itself. Sir, I was a merit scholar throughout my school and college education. Now, this is covering a lot. I have not given any details about my schooling, though I had a lot to talk about my schooling. The reason why I have a lot to talk about my schooling is because in 8th board exam, I got second rank in Delhi. I was given two scholarships, one by Delhi state government and the second one by the school society where I was studying. In 11th, obviously I was top of the school, but I also got 16th rank in CBSE. Now, I have not tried to highlight it at all. It's not required to be. The one statement that I was a merit scholar throughout my school and college education is more than sufficient to highlight the fact that I was probably in the top five students of my class in all 5 years of my journey. Summer training, BTech project. Yes, I do have a lot to talk about this. We had two trainings. One was a 6 weeks summer internship after the completion of third year, which for which we went to Badarpur Thermal Power Project. And the second one was the eighth semester. The full eighth semester was industrial internship for which I had gone to IBM in Mumbai. At that time, IBM was operating as IBM. It only closed somewhere in 77, 78, and then it came back as Tata IBM because foreign companies were not permitted to set foot in India on their own. They had to have an Indian partner, and therefore they partnered with the Tata Group and came as TISL, which subsequently again they became an independent entity. That's besides the point, right? Each of the points mentioned here are important. Mention it only if it is applicable to you. If you have not done MTech, remain silent. If you joined MTech but left after completing one semester, don't even whisper a word about it. It doesn't make sense. There is one possible question which you people might be having. Sir, I got campus placement, but I did not join. Should I highlight it? The answer is no, don't highlight it. Because this is something which means you are trying to brag about yourself. Don't do that. आपको ऑफर मिला था तो आपने ज्वाइन क्यों किया? नहीं सर, बस ऐसे ही वो तो प्लेसमेंट के लिए बैठ गए थे. You have denied somebody the rightful chance. Don't boast about your performance. No, never do that. Never do that. Same way, you joined Larsen and Toubro. You worked for just 10 months and left. The reason why you left is because along with the work, you were not able to continue with your preparation. So you decided that let me go. But Larsen and Toubro, L&T, they have a policy of not giving you experience letter unless you complete the training period. Verbally do mention that I worked for 10 months with L&T. I was posted to the environmental engineering division of L&T. But don't write it down. The reason why you don't write it down is because you don't have proof of having worked there. There is a proof of having worked there. You can carry your salary slip and you can carry your bank statement, which shows the amount getting credited to your account every month for the 10 months that you work there. But avoid. You don't have a piece of paper which says that you worked for L&T for 10 months or 12 months, right? Don't mention it. If they ask you, why have you not mentioned? Tell them, sir, L&T has a policy of not giving experience letter unless we complete 1 year or 2 years, whatever the case may be. They understand it and they are aware of it also. See, they don't insist on this thing. They'll never insist on that, right? Okay. Extracurricular activities, co-curricular activities, sports, NCC games, any other achievements, mention. This is the sequence which has been suggested. But don't think that you will get the opportunity of speaking everything which is given in this sequence. No. Candidates generally have a tendency of starting with the family because I have a rural background. उसका कोई benefit नहीं आपको मिलेगा. They will not even bother about it. You are here competing on your own merits. And when we say merits, we are talking about your college studies, we are talking about your gate performance, and we are talking about your ability to interact during the interview. ध्यान रखना, कभी भी कोई चीज आपको एक्स्ट्रा एडवांटेज नहीं देने वाली, राइट? सो प्लीज, Vikas, I don't think L&T gives any letter. The moment you ask them for any letter, sir, give me a letter that I am working from this, I have worked from this date to this date, they will smell a rat, means you are trying to move out, and they will not appreciate it. What I'm stating is based on the feedback that I receive from a lot of candidates. And if it is there in your case, very good, you can always show it. Are you working in L&T for that matter? Or did you work in L&T for that matter? Right? It depends on the organization, right? There is another thing which is important for you to know, that EIL would expect you to carry a NOC in case you're working in another PSU or in any government organization. And they very clearly say that it is mandatory. It is mandatory, right? So if you are working in a PSU or government organization, then you have to carry the no objection certificate, which may or may not be issued to you. Some organizations, some PSUs where you are going for interview, they take an undertaking that in the event of selection, you will bring a relieving letter from your current employer. The relieving letter from the current employer is issued only after clearance of all dues, which may include the payment of bond money. EIL does not have any bond, so there is no question of the bond getting transferred from your existing PSU to EIL. So don't even raise that question in any of your doubts. There is no requirement of NOC if you're working in a private organization. Absolutely no requirement. Sir, I'm working in Infosys. Do I require a NOC? Answer is no, you don't require. Okay. There is a possible way of coming out in case you're working as a ad hoc employee or as a temporary assignment, which means you are a contract employee for 1 year. In that case, the NOC is neither issued by your employer nor is it mandatory. You can always tell the HR team who are doing the document verification, sir, I'm a contract employee and there is no obligation on my part to serve a notice period. Plus, the organization, the employer does not issue NOC to candidates who are working on contract. So again, this can be possibly a doubt which some of you might be having. All right. Then there are a list of questions which I'm going to show in the next slide. Again, I'll be discussing one or two of those questions because they are specific to EIL. The rest of them, my suggestion will be to devote time on watching the ONGC video so that we save time during this session and are able to address a lot of your doubts which you may be having with regard to the process, right? I'm just showing all the questions in a sequence. They may not be asked from anybody, or they may be asked in any random order, or they may ask just one or two out of these, right? The question which I'm going to handle today is the very first question. Why do you want to join EIL? Right? Let me make a correction in this itself. Let me say, okay, just give me a minute. I'll make a correction so that, we are always keeping proper tab. Why do you want to join EIL? Since we are talking about EIL, that's it. I'm coming back with the screen share. Back to the screen share. Here we are. Okay. So the very first question, as we were talking about, why do you want to work in EIL? Why do you want to join EIL? Don't say EIL is the number one consulting company in the country. And for an engineer, it is the ultimate destination in case one wants to be in technical consultancy. That everybody knows. What is different? How can your answer be different? See, you're an electrical engineer, you're a mechanical engineer, you're a civil engineer. In a number of organizations, you may end up getting work which is least connected with your branch of engineering. But EIL is an organization where you are actually getting the task, actually getting an assignment which directly relates with your branch of engineering. Whether it is for MT construction, whether it is for MT others. When you are in MT construction, when you are a management trainee for construction, that means you get hands-on engagement with projects which are ongoing at different locations. But when you are going as MT others, as I mentioned right in the beginning, as MT others, you spend majority of your time at the head office or in the planning section or in the design group, but you may get the opportunity of visiting the site occasionally. I'm not saying always, but occasionally. On the other hand, when you are going as MT construction, obviously your place of posting is the project site. And then once that project is over, you might get moved to another project site. That's part of the discipline. So you want to join EIL because as an electrical engineer, you will get the opportunity of working in your core domain, both as MT construction as well as MT others. The differentiation in the work profile I have already shared, I have already discussed, right? Why should we select you? What do you expect will be your work profile? How will you contribute to EIL? What is your career objective? What if you are not selected? All these questions are answered in the ONGC session. Please go through that. Please go through. And I'm telling one more thing, that I'll have one more session, which is more like a follow-up of today's session. But that will be useful only after you have watched the ONGC session. Your interviews are probably starting from next Monday. That means that is from the 4th of May. I think that's the schedule, if I can remember it correctly. The interviews are starting from 4th of May for the various disciplines. You should watch the video, and I'll probably try to have this interaction on Saturday evening. And Saturday would be 432. Saturday is 2nd of May. Second evening, we'll probably have this interaction, but that will be scheduled after 8:30, right? So that you are free from your day's routine in case you are engaged anywhere else. And that will be more of a doubt removal session for you. But precondition, please watch the session related to ONGC. All right. All these questions are discussed threadbare. Why MTech? Why not MTech? Sir, should I include my experience of having worked in IT company for 1 year, even though I'm going for MT construction? My answer is yes, you should include. Why not? End of the day, there was learning during this period. You learned how to work effectively as a member of a team. You learned to observe the organizational discipline All these are very meaningful learnings. Mention it. But then if you didn't want to join, if you didn't want to work in IT domain, why did you join the organization? So taking up a job after completion of my graduation was necessary for me to start earning. And that's the reason why I took up any job that came my way after completing my BTech, knowing fully well that I will not make a career in this domain. Fully an acceptable answer, but आपके कहने के तरीके के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. How well do you convey it? It will depend a lot on that. All right. Just one moment. Well, to all of you. Right. I've just checked from my alternate device. It's clear enough. Okay. Right. The point is, every question that is listed on this sheet is discussed. And as I said, on second evening, once again, we'll have a meeting after 8:30 so that if you still carry any doubts, I'll answer them. And it will not be a spiel coming from me. It will be more in the form of your questions and my replies. All right. Please watch those videos very carefully and without any distractions. You will get answers. Moving forward now. A word about EIL. What are the key business areas? See, all this information is there on the website of EIL. I've just done a cut and paste and present it in the form of the slides. I'll probably share this also with you so that you don't have to fish around. I'm sharing a few documents related to EIL with you. One is their corporate brochure, again downloaded from their website. The second one is the investor presentation made by EIL at the end of every quarter. The latest investor presentation, which is available on EIL website, is for the quarter which ended on December 31st, 2025, which means the end of 3 quarters of the financial year 25-26. But then they have also given the results for the full financial year 24-25, which again have been summarized in that. It's a very useful document to go through. आपको 50-100 पेज नहीं पढ़ने हैं, 20 slides हैं उसमें. You just have to go through those 20 slides, right? As you see from this slide, the key business areas: oil and gas, both onshore as well as offshore projects; petrochemicals, which means downstream; petroleum refineries. EIL is a major player in that arena. In fact, in India, probably one of the biggest. There are some other players also, but EIL remains number one. And EIL expertise is also being utilized by companies around the world. They have a global footprint. Right? They are into fertilizers. As a matter of fact, they have made a strategic investment in a company called Ramgundam Fertilizers, and they are reviving that fertilizer unit. They are an equity holder in that particular organization, and they are reviving that plant which had closed down. There are other partners also. I think NFL is one of the other key investor in this arena. All right. Ishan, I'll send all these, and in the covering mail, I'll be highlighting the points which you are looking for, right? Pipelines is another crucial area of business for EIL, the planning of the pipelines, and then at times even undertaking the construction and the installation and commissioning also. Mining and metallurgy, as I've already given you the example of Nalco being their one of the biggest projects handled by turnkey projects handled by EIL. Infrastructure, strategic storage. See, the strategic storage deals with the storage getting created to store petroleum products. It can be the storage of crude oil, it can be the storage of the finished products, it can be the storage of, it can be LPG terminal, it can be LNG terminal, liquefied petroleum gas and liquefied natural gas. They are into biofuels, water and wastewater management, ports and terminals, again connected with, you can say that directly or indirectly connected with the oil and gas sector, energy transition, and most importantly, green hydrogen. And then obviously they are into LNG, liquefied natural gas. Again, some of the key areas which they're offering by way of their services is technology and licensing, the process design, the project management, engineering, supply chain management, construction management. These are the different key service areas of EIL. And they are also having a subsidiary which they are using for certifications. Okay, there is a dedicated subsidiary created by EIL, which is whose services are used for issuing the certification to the various clients all over. All right. And then, technology licensing, what are the key areas? Then we have process design, then we have project management, then engineering, supply chain management is a very important area for mechanical engineers. See, those of you who are going for MT others as mechanical engineer get to play a very critical role in supply chain management, development as well as incorporation. Construction management can be the domain for civil engineers as well as electrical engineers. In other words, those who are opting for MT others as well as MT construction, they can get this key role. Commissioning of the plants, then specialized services in terms of environmental services, which includes environmental impact assessment. EIA is forming a very critical part of the regulatory requirements. EIL is a leading player in offering complete solutions relating to heat and mass transfer, health and safety, HAZOP, SIL studies, RRA, safety audits, etc., specialty material and maintenance, and then FEM, FEA, finite element analysis, and critical stress analysis. These are the specialized services offered by them. And certifications, as I said, through their subsidiary, Certification Engineers International Limited. As the name suggests, these services are being offered for clients all over the world. The name that you must remember is the name of the chairman and managing director, that is Praveen M. Khanuja. He is actually holding a charge for the time being only. It's an additional charge as CMD of EIL, but otherwise he's an additional secretary in the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. He's an IS officer. The outgoing CMD of EIL was Mrs. Vartika Shukla. She's left EIL after attaining the age of superannuation just a few months back. Then there are other directors, but they'll be keen on knowing if you remember or recall the name of the CMD, right? Now, coming to the list of subjects which are important. But before I come to the list of subjects, there are 2, 3 more documents which I want to show you. Again, being shared with you. Somebody asked, sir, which document were you talking about? Let me first confirm the windows where I have opened them for showing it to you, and then I'll share it with you. I'm just changing the share of a share document because these are the PDFs which I had opened. Okay. Just give me a moment. Here we are. I hope you are able to see this page number 6. It is the annual report. It's a 430-page long report, but I have just reduced to barely manageable number of pages. You need not go through every single page. It's just the most important parts of the annual report which I want you to look at, right? Again, it talks about the activities, it talks about the key personnel. I was talking about the global footprint. This map talks about the various locations all over the world where EIL is offering services, right? There is a refinery in Mongolia, which is being which has been set up with technical consultancy from EIL. They are present even in Shanghai and Moscow. Then Bangladesh, they are setting up a grassroots refinery. There is a integrated natural gas liquid plant in Guyana, which is West Indies. Then there is a grassroots refinery petrochemical complex in Nigeria. There is a refinery expansion project in Kenya, etc. Right? The point is highly diversified range of activities. Right? Within India, they are present in every single state except for J&K because that doesn't have any major activities related to oil and natural gas. Otherwise, in every other state, they are present. Right? 6 decades of excellence. They started off in 1965. They completed 60 years, right? That's a long time. Important milestones. The next document, which is to be shared, is this is an investor presentation document which I was talking about. Somebody asked, which document were you talking about for Q3 of 2025? This is the one which I'm talking about. I'm going to be sharing it in the folder, which I'll send a mail to you. All of you, I'll send a mail by tomorrow evening. Maybe I'll send it today itself. Otherwise, latest by tomorrow evening, right? The reason why this document is very important is because it's a very crisp presentation of the working of the organization. I was talking about the annual results also being shared. There is a slide which talks about the annual results also. These are quarterly results, but then there is a slide which gives you the annual results also. This is the order book situation, the breakup, which sectors are contributing how much, which are the important orders that have been achieved in the financial year 25-26 in the last 3 quarters, right? This is the slide which talks about a comparison of the last 5 years of performance. These figures are in millions of rupees. And as you can notice, the total income of EIL for the financial year, which ended on March 31st, 2025, I'm not talking about 2026, but 2025, is 3,198 crores. 31,980 million rupees or 3,198 crores, which is less in comparison with the previous one, the 2023, but more in terms of their profitability per se. The profit after tax for 23-24 was 357 crores, whereas for 24-25, it is 465.2 crores. Obviously, it is higher from 11% to 15%, right? Then there is an order book comparison. 23-24 May, there was an order book consultancy part was only 7,964, whereas for 24-25, the total order book was 82,000 crores. Sorry, 8,214 crores. Whereas for 23-24, it was 3,406 crores, right? The breakup again has been mentioned. The idea is that this is a very crisp and a precise picture of what is required to be understood by. This document again is available on the website, corporate brochure. It's again the important aspects related to the working, related to the various business areas. In fact, if you just go through this and look at the financial year summary, financial result summary, it's more than sufficient. But this is a very useful document which you must go through, right? For completion, I have displayed the advertisement which was released, right? There is 1 year training, which is during which you get 60,000 per month, plus accommodation, plus transport cost, etc. And after completion, you get into the pay scale of 60,000 to 1,80,000, which which will end up giving you a cost to the company equivalent of 21 lakhs per annum, right? It's at par with what you get in ONGC, IOCL, or any other Maharatna company, right? The job profile I have already discussed for MT others as well as for MT construction. You can read the ad for more clarity. The requirements, the educational requirements have been very clearly spelled out. I am not discussing about chemical engineers. It's a very stringent organization in the sense that the age limit for this is 25 years. Some PSUs have age limit of 26 years for general category, and some exceptional ones have an age limit of 28 years for general category. But EIL restricts to 25 years. And likewise, there are relaxations for other categories, right? They have clearly spelled out the CGPA requirements. So somebody said, sir, I entered my CGPA wrongly. I used a wrong formula, but either way, I'm clearing the requirement. Will there be a problem? My answer is no, there will be no problem at all. So just relax. Don't unnecessarily burden your mind, right? Who have their final year or semester exams between April to June and are yet to receive the result should specify the percentage up to the previous semester. Again, clarity for you, because number of you might be sailing in this particular boat, right? Reservations, obviously. Selection procedure, there'll be group discussion and interview, right? Let me see if there is any minimum cutoff required in the advertisement. If not mentioned, then assume it to be 40% for general category and 30% for the reserve categories. When you are called for interview, applying you have already done. When you are called for interview, you are required to carry with you the list of documents which have been mentioned in your call letter. I'm sure you have gone through the call letter clearly. In case there is any doubt, you can write to me. You can write to me. Informative, I hope you have got your answer, because this was probably, I didn't see your message before discussing it, but probably it was meant for you only. Currently in fourth year and placed through recruitment, if I'm asked about my placement, Haridev Gupta, and maybe there are a number of others like Haridev Gupta, in case you have been placed, and obviously you are from a top-notch institute, you can always say, sir, I decided to opt out of placements because my goal is to work in a government organization. Safe, without any further discussions. बोल देना, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. एक बहुत बड़ा सवाल काफी लोगों के मन में आता है, सर इंटरव्यू में जैसे ही पैनल को देखता हूं मेरी आवाज नहीं निकलती. आवाज इसलिए नहीं निकलती क्योंकि आपको बोलने की प्रैक्टिस नहीं है. थोड़ा सा बोलने की प्रैक्टिस करिए, थोड़ा सा बोलने की प्रैक्टिस करिए. आई थिंक मेरे को और इसमें तो कुछ नहीं देखना है. No, I think nothing else is required to be discussed about this particular document. Ankit, you were inattentive in the beginning. That is why you are continuously posting a message. What is the weightage? What is the weightage? What is the weightage? I have said there is not mentioned, but it is 85-15. 85 for gate. Gate marks generally, unless they very clearly spell out, right? So that's it. And don't send personal messages. You should come with email printout and the interview call letter attachment. But they have sent a call letter, na? If it is part of the mail, just take the printout of that mail itself. That itself will be sufficient for you. Don't worry. Don't worry at all. Or you can forward whatever is the document received by you. I'll respond back to you. And for the benefit of all, my email ID, once again, I'm stating, is dkarora@madeasy.in. Okay. All right. Going back to the task of discussing about the preferred subjects, because that is again an important part which you should know. Remember that they don't ask you what are your favorite subjects. They'll ask you what are the subjects that they may ask you. I'm not saying that they will ask you. They may ask you, what are the subjects that you're prepared for this interview? Fair enough. If they ask you, you are happy. If they don't ask you, they'll straight away go on asking you questions as they feel. Either ways, you don't have a choice. Right. Mechanical engineers, the subjects which can be important, which should be prepared, SOM is mandatory, fluid mechanics and machinery, extremely important. Turbines, steam turbines may be more preferred here. Heat transfer, they are experts, they are offering their expert services, therefore thermodynamics and heat transfer can be important. Material science as a subject, fuels and properties, extremely useful for an EIL kind of an interview. There is one subject which I must include. I'll include that subject also, and that is industrial engineering. Which means optimization, supply chain management, then I'm also including here ERP or MRP, material resource planning, etc. This is again a useful subject which can be opted by particularly those students who have been shortlisted for MT others, right? You have a variety of subjects. If they ask you questions from a subject which you are not prepared, don't worry. Don't try to fake an answer. Don't try to bluff. Don't think that you will be able to get away with a bluff. No, you will not. They'll realize and they will start penalizing you straight away. They'll keep on asking you more and more difficult questions, and you will end up falling into the trap of trying to answer every question which is being asked, and then you end up losing your priority. Don't make that mistake. Don't make that mistake. Akash, I'm just coming to what you asked for. Sir, I fumble in speaking English. Can I use mix of Hindi and English? My answer is yes, by all means. Start by answering the questions in English, but if you get stuck up, politely request, sir, please allow me to use mix of Hindi and English. ये मत बोलना कि may I use Hindi and English. Instead say, sir, please allow me to use mix of Hindi and English. They will not say no to you. End of the day, they are looking for knowledge. They are not looking for your linguistic competence. हमेशा याद रखना. Okay? So you can use Hindi and English. कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. और अलाउ कर देते हैं. PSUs में सभी में अलाउ कर देते हैं. सिर्फ एक PSU था जिसमें कभी कभी दिक्कत होती थी, and that PSU was BPCL. In one particular session, they allowed mix of Hindi and English, but then subsequently they again reverted back to English only. But then that is very specific to only one PSU. Almost every other PSU permits you to use mix of Hindi and English or only Hindi, right? Voice, what is your name? I don't recognize you. I don't recognize voice, right? Coming to the next stream, if we talk about civil engineering, SOM remains important. CPM is very important. If particularly if you have done your masters in construction planning and management, you can be having an advantage for EIL interviews. But then even as BTech, yes, the basics of project management, contracts, importance of various clauses, different types of contracts, the evaluation techniques, the comparisons, the comparatives, costing aspects can be important for you as a civil engineer. In MT others, on the stream, on the job, monitoring of project progress will definitely play a very important role for MT construction. Building materials, soil mechanics, structural analysis, environmental engineering, depending on your area of interest. Now here I have written at the bottom, avoid irrigation hydrology, but I'm going to make a change. I'm going to remove this word avoid, because for EIL, anything is acceptable. Any specialization is more than acceptable. All right. Let me remove the word avoid here. Okay. Going back to the full screen mode. It's your choice which subjects you choose. Entirely your choice which subjects you choose. But as I was saying, if you don't know the answer to a question, don't be shy of saying, sorry, sir, I don't know. Or you can say, sir, I have studied this, but I don't recall. Or, sir, I have not revised this subject. However, I have revised this subject. तीनों में से जो आंसर विद रेफरेंस टू द कॉन्टेक्स्ट सूट करता हो वही आंसर दीजिएगा. ब्लफ मत करना. ब्लफ मत करना. काउंटर प्रोडक्टिव हो जाता है. काउंटर प्रोडक्टिव हो जाता है. अवॉइड करो इस सिचुएशन को. ऑल राइट. ओके. Electrical engineers, electrical machines is very important. Transformers cannot be ignored. AC machines, DC machines, synchro machines, all they must be thoroughly prepared. Power electronics is important. Control systems is important. Power systems is extremely important. I have not mentioned specifically about transmission. The reason why I have not mentioned about transmission is because EIL is not known to have any projects connected with power transmission. That's the reason why generation and distribution may be the focal areas for power systems as a subject, but protection devices would be required to be prepared very well by you. All right. Sushant, please submit your details using Google Forms so that you don't miss on any information. Okay. I'm enclosing my email ID. I'm writing my email ID in this also, in the Google YouTube also, so that you don't miss out on anything important. But then you have to submit your credentials. Okay, DK Arora at maydz.in. That's my email ID. But then you must submit your details using the Google form, for which the link is available in the main YouTube, in the main Telegram channel of MadeEasy, as well as in every subject channel of MadeEasy, right? So I'm sure you are knowing about that. Therefore, you can update the information. If you're not submitted, then add it. Otherwise, update it. There are some candidates whose particulars were incorrectly entered. I don't, the email ID I had corrected, but somebody had not mentioned the email at all. I did try to send a message in the civil engineering Telegram group. I think Kalki or somebody was the name. In case he is joined, please update or resubmit your particulars in Google form. All right. So this was primarily the content which I wanted to discuss as a part of my coverage today. My email ID is displayed for your benefit, dkarora@madeeasy.in. Please make a note of it so that in case of doubts, you can always write to me. I prefer replying to emails rather than to have a discussion on Telegram or WhatsApp. It allows me to do any attachment fixation easily, and that's what it is. Now I'm letting you people raise your hand so that if any questions remain unanswered, I can answer. But before I do that, I will not unmute anybody whose name is not given at the time of signing in. Mr. Voice, your voice will not be heard. So you can just either send a message in the chat box so that I can unmute you, or you can raise your hand. There is a provision for that also. And don't send individual messages. Okay, there is one question which has been written by Shravan. Sir, how about students pursuing MTech immediately after BTech? Shravan, are you in the first semester? Are you in the second semester, or you are in the final semester of MTech? But irrespective, I'll cover both aspects. If you're in the second semester of MTech, you can talk about your MTech and at the same time say that, sir, okay, your second semester structures, it's a very useful stream to pursue as a civil engineer. You can always tell them, they'll ask you, will you leave your MTech incomplete? Sir, my institute permits me to convert the MTech into part-time MTech. By the time the joining details for EIL are announced, I would have finished the coursework requirement for my institute, and I am permitted to carry out my project work as an external candidate, subject to EIL permitting. And if EIL permits, then I'll request for permission to continue with my MTech as a part-time student. Of course, at my own cost. बोल देना कोई problem नहीं होगा. I hope I'm clear about this. Ankit, this will be available on the YouTube. You can. Any other question, please? If not done internship, but a tech one of 1 month, should it be discussed or say, see, if Harshit, if you want, I can unmute you because your question is slightly ambiguous. Should I unmute you? Because I'll unmute you in a while, but first I want to close with Harshit. Harshit, I have unmuted you.
Hello.
Yes, beta, please.
Yes, sir. I wanted to know, like, if done like internship of data analytics or any other thing,
See,
then
is
can.
internship a mandatory part of your course curriculum? That is my first question.
Yes, it was.
It was. And
Yes.
instead of that, you went in for this 4 week long course or something.
Yes.
It was permitted by your HOD.
Yes, sir. They
So
give
that
the
means the
passing marks.
college permitted you to go for either internship or this kind of an engagement, which is what you opted for. Simple
Okay.
enough.
We can explain.
You can,
Oh,
right? But is case mein, because it is not so directly connected with the work, you can remain silent. Only when they ask you to talk about it, then you can mention it.
sure. Thank you.
Fair enough?
Yes.
Any other question? Okay, Vikas, please unmute.
Hi, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, beta. Please.
Sir, actually, I recently passed on in 25, and after that, I worked in L&T for 4 months.
आपने
And
मेंशन किया है और आपने
y-
छोड़ भी दिया है एंड यू से दैट इट्स अवेलेबल ऑन योर वेबसाइट.
yes, sir. And
ठीक है. कोई
uh,
पेनल्टी तो नहीं है ना तुम्हारे रिलीविंग की?
no, no. Actually, sir, they assigned me the work that is not aligning with my work experience and the
So
domain
that is a
knowledge.
reason for wanting to leave L&T.
Hmm.
You already have
And
the answer for that objection.
yes, sir. And so
ठीक है ना?
my major
हाँ.
question is like in my BTech second year,
हम्म.
I did a research internship, and on basis of that, I have one publication in FMFP conference.
मेंशन
Sh
करो.
okay.
मेंशन करो.
And
But highlight the title of the paper rather than any other aspect.
okay,
That will be more relevant for you. Is it
okay,
not?
yes, sir.
Okay.
And sir, the
Hmm.
other question is, as I did my internship in IOCL refinery Guwahati, and
Hmm.
there we were not allowed to do any kind of work there. We have to just observe the things that
So
are
it was
going
an
on.
observational training. The keyword is observational training.
But sir, in the certificate, it is written that it is an industrial training program in thermal power plant. But it
आपका
was not like that.
आपका ट्रेनिंग का सर्टिफिकेट पैनल में कोई नहीं देखेगा.
Okay,
पहली बात. दूसरी बात, अगर वो कहते हैं कि भाई ये तो इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग है, यस सर, द स्कोप ऑफ द ट्रेनिंग वाज लिमिटेड टू ऑब्जर्वेशनल ट्रेनिंग.
okay, sir.
We were not assigned any hands-on work during this 4 weeks of internship at IOCL refinery, but we were made to observe the various processes. और ये भी
Mm.
जरूरी नहीं है कि आप पूरी रिफाइनरी को कवर करो. व्हाट इज योर ब्रांच?
Sir, I am from mechanical.
Mechanical engineering. So you can always talk about that we were asked to study this particular process. एक particular section में आप फोकस कर सकते हो. अगर कैप्टिव पावर प्लांट में थे तो आप कैप्टिव पावर प्लांट का एरिया कवर करके जाओ थॉरली. अगर आप हीट एक्सचेंजर्स वाले पोर्शन में थे तो हीट एक्सचेंजर्स को पूरी तरह से कवर
Mm,
करके जाओ. तो ऑटोमेटिकली एक बाउंड्रीज बना रहे हो अपने इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चंस के लिए.
No, sir. Actually, it was the diversified internship. We have to go to the all of the plants and observe the things
So
that are
that
going
means you
on.
got an overview of the way a refinery works.
Yes, sir.
The
It was
term
like
is
that.
overview,
Yes, sir.
right? Which means if they ask you to make a block diagram of the various key areas, then make a block diagram in terms of the process flow.
Yes,
अगर
sir.
वो कहते हैं तो
Okay, sir.
ठीक है ना?
Yes, sir.
और
And sir, the last question is, as I left my the previous organization, which is LNT, in 4 months only. So will it affect or will
you
it be
have
okay?
a very strong and compelling reason to have left that,
Okay.
because the work that was assigned to you was in no way connected with your area of study or expectation.
Okay, sir.
And therefore, you decided to stop working at L&T and focus fully on your preparation so that you can get into an organization like EIL where you get the work of your choice.
Okay.
अगर वो
And
बोलते हैं
so,
कि यहाँ पे भी अगर ऐसा हुआ तो then you
yes,
can
sir.
give a smile, sir, I hope not. बस इतने पे छोड़
Oh,
दो,
okay, sir.
ठीक है?
And sir, एक और question was, actually, sir, I gave interview in BEML on the 1st of April,
Okay,
and interview has not declared yet.
right.
If the result is declared before the interview date,
Hmm.
so in that case, sir, should I uh, go for that, or what to do in that case?
If I am in your place, I'll only go for EIL.
No, sir. What I'm saying is, कि before 14th of May, before
Hmm.
the EIL interview.
Hmm.
So if that,
Joining will not be immediate. They'll give you at least 3 weeks.
okay,
घबराओ मत.
okay, okay.
रिजल्ट अगर आज भी आ जाता है तो ज्वाइनिंग आपकी 15-20-25 मई से पहले नहीं होगी.
Uh, if I accept the offer letter,
And
and
don't
will
join, it does not matter.
so will that bond amount needs to pay from my
Bond
side?
is applicable only when you have joined physically in the organization,
Okay, okay. No doubt is clear,
not
sir.
not on making the offer only.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ठीक है?
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, right.
Thank you so much.
Anybody else with a question? Please raise your hand or write in the chat box so that I can unmute you. अच्छा, chat में आए हुए messages. I will not be able to give you any idea about the cutoff marks, please. So don't waste your time and my time in asking about these questions. Okay, हर्षित का हो गया. Till how much rank? Dhruva Agarwal, your question is meaningless. I've already stated it. Akash, you will get the answer to your question when you go through the ONGC video. If still not getting on the second, I'll discuss it. Safe score, my answer is I can't predict. Interview on 11th May, but I have IIT. बेटा अगर सीटीएम का आईआईटी बॉम्बे का इंटरव्यू है तो अगर आपके लिए एमटेक ज्यादा जरूरी है तो ईआईएल छोड़ो, और अगर दोनों जरूरी हैं तो फिर रात की फ्लाइट पकड़ करके बॉम्बे जाओ. दैट इज द ओनली ऑल्टरनेटिव फॉर यू, क्योंकि सीटीएम इंटरव्यू का डेट और टाइम चेंज नहीं होने वाला. मेरा यही सजेशन होगा अतुल. But for SC, ST, are you an ST candidate? If you are an ST candidate, are they conducting interviews? Mayank Bharti, you were probably sleeping when I was discussing. Okay, Atul, in that case, the only option for you will be to travel by air on the night of EIL interview. वही पॉसिबिलिटी है बेटा. और लेट फ्लाइट बुक करना ताकि आप ना तो EIL की प्रोसेस मिस करो और ना ही आईआईटी बॉम्बे को. मॉर्निंग फ्लाइट मत लेना, फ्लाइट्स का डिसरप्शन हो जाता है कई बार. तो बेटर है कि 11 बजे के बाद की फ्लाइट ले लो कोई भी, सस्ती भी मिलेगी और आप मिस भी नहीं करोगे कोई चीज. ओके, पीयूष, आई विल अनम्यूट यू. EIL does not provide accommodation. Or one second, let me check the information that has been shared with me. पीयूष अनम्यूट कर लीजिए.
Good afternoon, sir.
गुड आफ्टरनून.
Sir, I have a doubt. Actually, sir, my father is already into consultation business. We are doing third-party audits,
ओके.
and
So we are into third-party auditing of pressure vessels and lifting tools and
ठीक है.
tackles. So, sir, if they ask me that why do you are not joining your own
Say
business?
that, sir, the work is limited only to this specialized domain.
Okay.
I want to work in an organization like EIL, which gives me such a wide exposure, which is a fact, is it not?
Yes, sir.
तो बस
Okay, sir.
safe answer.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Any other question?
No, sir.
ठीक है बेटा, ठीक है. ईशान, I'll just unmute. Just give me a minute. But you people should ना, after you're through, then you can mute yourself. Okay? मेरे को वो काम नहीं करना पड़ेगा. हाँ ईशान, अनम्यूट कर लीजिए. प्लीज अनम्यूट.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, sir.
Yes बेटा, गुड आफ्टरनून.
Sir, my question is that, sir, regarding, sir, since you mentioned that we have to mention some summer internship and project work in a very crisp manner, right? But my current doubt is that I have done 3 internships in my
Okay.
course of career.
Okay.
Every one of them in very different domains. One in the software domain, one in the data science domain, and one in the lean manufacturing domain. And I'm
बेटा
currently
इनमें से एक तो मेरा पहला क्वेश्चन ये है कि मैंडेटरी कौन सा था? तीनों मैंडेटरी थी या आपने खुद से की?
Sir, basically, obviously, the first 2 of them were mandatory, were given to my college, matlab, in which we have to sit for the college internship programs. And the third internship that I did was in the last semester, because we have nothing to do in the last semester rather than placements, right? So I was also doing an intern in software development in the last semester. So it was not through college, but it was
What is your branch?
my branch is mechanical engineering, sir.
Mechanical. देखो, even if it is not connected with your branch and let's say it is related to data science or something like that, even that is relevant today.
Sure, sir. And
तो
sir,
तीनों
one
को
more.
मेंशन ना करो, तीनों को मेंशन ना करो, 2 को मेंशन करो, ताकि उनसे रिलेटेड जो क्रॉस क्वेश्चनिंग हो, यू आर एबल टू हैंडल इट.
Okay, got it, sir.
ठीक
And
है?
sir, currently I'm also
हाँ.
working working for the after graduating last year. I am also working in the consulting services. मतलब in the consulting field only, in the data science consulting. So should I mention that as my work experience?
If you are working as a full-time employee,
Yes.
getting a monthly salary, yes, it is a work experience.
Okay, sure, sir. And sir, regarding the project, since we have my college is very internship prone. There is nothing such as major project in our
तो ठीक
college.
है, आप बोल दीजिए कि it was not a mandatory requirement.
But we have projects in different small projects, some MATLAB projects and some data science Python
नहीं,
projects.
क्या उनके लिए मार्कशीट में उनकी मार्किंग होती है, उसके क्रेडिट्स हैं?
Sir, you could say not, because the thing in the mark sheet is like, if we do any course, let's suppose my project was in thermodynamics regarding the two-stage refrigeration system and cascading them, like 2 different refrigeration, and try to cascade them to in MATLAB simulation. So it was a part of the course as a 50% weightage, but the 50% was the written. So the course
तो
was written
फिर आप एक
thermodynamics.
काम करो, then in that case you do one thing, identify 1 or 2 projects which you are very thorough with,
Sure, sir. Sure. Got it,
right?
sir.
And mention that.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much
ठीक है
for
ना?
your guidance.
क्योंकि मेंशन करने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, आप 4 मेंशन करो. अगर चारों में से एक में भी आप वीक पॉइंट पे हो, तो आपका तो नुकसान हो जाएगा.
Yes, sir.
इसीलिए प्ले सेफ, talk about 2 best prepared projects,
Got it.
and come out with flying colors.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
ठीक है?
Sure.
Okay,
Thank
right.
you very much.
Okay, okay. Haridev Gupta, you worked with BIS in a project in your 3rd year where you were getting 5,000 rupees stipend for 1 year. इसको employment में नहीं include कर सकते. Because you were in 3rd year, because as a student you cannot be a full-time employee. It is as an intern only. तो उसको employment में नहीं include कर सकते. I hope I have answered your question. Ankit, if you want, you can unmute and let's go threadbare. You did your internship in PWD, Public Works Department. All right. And I assume that you are a civil engineer. Ankit, unmute कर लीजिए आप.
Hello, sir.
Yes, beta.
Good afternoon, sir. Actually, sir, my doubt was regarding internship, that I have given many interview in my college, but I always get stuck in the questions of internship where I don't know the facts or.
आप मेरे को एक एग्जाम्पल दीजिए, दो तीन क्वेश्चंस जहां पे आप अटकते हो. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कंफर्म दैट यू आर ए सिविल इंजीनियर.
Yes, sir, I am a civil
राइट.
engineer.
पीडब्ल्यूडी में आपको कहां पे उन्होंने पोस्ट किया था? पब्लिक वर्क्स डिपार्टमेंट, कौन सी स्टेट या कौन से प्रोजेक्ट पे?
Sir, in Assam, sir, I was there. Construction of mini secretariat building was going on.
Very good. And at what
Uh,
stage was the project when you went there for 6 weeks? You were there for 6 weeks?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, the framework was going on.
Framework was going on. That means the design work had been completed.
Yes,
The
sir. The
execution was
foundation.
being carried out.
Yes, sir. The foundation was laid down. The
Okay.
columns and slab was casting.
Right. So that means you will have to say that when I was there for my internship, I got the opportunity to observe the framework getting placed.
Yes, sir. Like in
अब
one.
उसमें कहाँ पे आपकी ग्रिलिंग हो सकती है? बीम के डिजाइन पे ग्रिलिंग हो सकती है, कॉलम के डिजाइन पे ग्रिलिंग हो सकती है, और उससे रिलेटेड थ्योरी ऑफ फेलियर पे पहुंच सकते हैं.
Okay, sir.
राइट. दिस इज द टिपिकल एरिया वेयर यू कैन गेट इनटू डिस्कशन. अगर इन एस्पेक्ट्स को आप अच्छे से प्रिपेयर कर लोगे, आई कैन एश्योर यू विल नॉट गेट कॉट.
Okay, sir. Sir, like in one interview, I appeared for the interview. They asked I mentioned that there was already mortar which are already formed, not by manually. It was already mixed. So they asked the proportion of the mixture,
तो
whatever.
बेटा वो तो एक स्टैंडर्ड आंसर होगा ना.
So, sir, I said that I
नहीं, वो तो बेटा एक स्टैंडर्ड आंसर है.
do not
उसकी तो
know. Then they
स्पेसिफिकेशन
told
है, आईएस स्पेसिफिकेशंस के बेस के ऊपर ही मोटार मिक्स डिसाइड हो जाता है, या नहीं?
yes, yes, sir, but I
तो
could
बेटा
not.
ये तो ऑब्जर्वेशनल पार्ट हो गया आपकी ट्रेनिंग का.
Yes, sir. Then I told that I do not know. Then
तो
they said
आप
that.
अपनी तरफ से कुछ क्वेश्चंस बनाने की कोशिश करो ना. आपने 2-3 इंटरव्यूज दिए हैं, और कहाँ कहाँ पे आप फंसे हो, उन एरियाज को आइडेंटिफाई करके उनके आंसर जनरेट करो तुम खुद.
Yes, sir. So I just want to ask that what if I do not remember the fact or something?
सर आई एम नॉट एबल टू रिकॉल.
Okay, sir.
इट इज एज पर एन आईएस कोड, बट आई एम नॉट एबल टू रिकॉल सर. आई एम एक्सट्रीमली सॉरी. बोल दो.
Okay, sir.
कोई हर्ष थोड़ी है आपने गलती मानने में.
Okay, sir. If during interview will I get nervous, then for that what should I do?
सर कैन आई हैव सम वाटर?
Okay, sir.
आप अपनी अटेंशन को डाइवर्ट कर रहे हो ना. एक
Yes,
स्ट्रेस
sir.
रिलीज करने का ऑप्शन है ये,
Okay, sir.
है या नहीं? और अगर
Yes,
आपसे पैनल में कोई कहता है कि आर यू नर्वस, यस सर, कोई इशू नहीं है.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
और कुछ?
Sir, about project, like my project is little bit more technical.
तो बेटा देखो, प्रोजेक्ट का जहां तक सवाल है, जो तुम बताओगे मेरे को वही प्रोजेक्ट पता लगेगा.
Okay, sir.
है या नहीं?
Yes, sir.
आप समझ गए मेरी बात, मैं क्या कहना चाह रहा हूं?
Yes, sir. Like senior advised that your project is so much complicated, then they will not
बेटा
ask you
अगर
the.
आप अपने प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में कंफर्टेबल हो, तो सीनियर की एडवाइस को निकाल दो अपने माइंड से.
Okay, sir.
दूसरा तरीका है, जिस प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में आप कंफर्टेबल हो वही आपका प्रोजेक्ट
Okay.
है या नहीं? बिकॉज आई एम नॉट आस्किंग यू फॉर सबमिशन ऑफ योर प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्ट.
Okay.
So I'll take you at your face value. Whatever you tell me, this was my project. Good. Let me ask you about your project. ठीक है?
Sir, sir.
और कुछ?
Sir, sometimes in interview they see me as a nervous, then they think that he is lying. Or in that case, what should I do?
ऐसा नहीं है. नर्वस को कभी भी वो ये नहीं देखते कि ही इज द लायर. नहीं. Nervous candidate will never be treated as a liar.
Okay, sir.
This is what I can tell you from my experience as an interviewer.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay? Okay. Right. और कोई?
Sir, And again this side.
हाँ बेटा.
Sir, one more thing, sir. I left out one point like in the previous discussion. Like my aim was like how to define the different domains. Like if they ask a question like you have tried every domain and why are you here then? Matlab, my every domain of my internship and my current job is not aligning with the work that I will be doing in EIL.
तो एक काम करो ना, आप आइडेंटिफाई करो दो जो आपने इंटर्नशिप की हैं.
Yes.
Can you name those two internships which somehow connect with your work?
So one of them is for the 6 weeks internship that I did in Forbes Marshall Pune. It is a lean manufacturing intern. That was the only intern that I did for in the mechanical field.
ठीक
And
है.
the other internship was in the data science research and development of Siemens. So
Okay.
it was related to bit AI ML side of the.
And you are currently working in that domain.
I'm currently working as a data science consultant only.
Right. But it is not connected with the work that you will do in EIL. That is
Surely.
your big worry.
Yep.
If I give you the answer to you this worry, what will you say? I already have an answer.
Sir, my answer
The first internship, अब मेरे को सुनो तुम. The first internship which you did was something which was allotted to you by your college.
Yep.
You didn't have a choice.
No. I did have a choice, but I won't.
But you didn't have a choice in the interview.
Yes.
Simple.
Yes. Got it.
Right? Therefore,
Yes.
you went for that and you made the best of your learning.
Yep.
You got an insight into the lean manufacturing process.
Got it.
Don't worry whether it is connected with EIL work or not.
Yep.
It is connected with mechanical engineering subject learning, manufacturing. ठीक है?
Yes. Got it, sir.
Got the answer?
And sir, one more thing.
Data science is the most happening thing, and I was keen to know about it, and I opted for this internship.
Got it, sir. This will be an appropriate response. My one
Okay.
more doubt regarding this is like in our very professional career that we have about like year and a half. So we have been using AI, right? Like we solve problems on our own, but we take help of AI in writing code. So some can like most of the time in my work only I use Claude and Chat GPT as my helpers in writing
ठीक है.
code. Just I give them the logic and they do all the hard working.
Right.
So if we got into the technicalities of the project, let's say,
They
okay,
will never get into the technicalities.
okay, got it, sir.
They are not AI ML experts.
Got it, sir.
Right?
Got it.
And there is another thing. When you're taking the help of these tools,
Yes.
the code which they generate cannot
Yes.
be treated as the most optimized code.
Yep.
Right?
Yep, sir.
So
We have to do a manual check.
it is a basic code which
Yes, sir.
does not require you to spend time in doing something which is doable automatically.
Got it. Sir, is it
Got it?
my question was like, is it like if somehow I
They
mentioned
will not
regarding
get into it. They will not get into the working of Chat GPT. How is it generating the code? They will never get into that.
Like, sir, my question was like, if I somehow mention that, okay, I use these AI tools as my helper, will they give a negative impact to the interviewers? Okay, he's taking help of.
Why? You are expected to do that.
Okay, got it, sir.
You are expected to do that. Is it not?
Sure. Sir, I thought it will make an image.
No,
Okay,
no. You are expected to use those tools so
Got
that
it,
you
sir.
can devote your time on more elaborate matters,
Got it, sir.
which require the human intelligence here.
Sure, sir. Got it. Very confident on that fact. Thank you very much for your
ठीक
guidance,
है,
sir.
चलिए. और कोई क्वेश्चन किसी का?
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, बेटा, one by one. Yes, बेटा, please.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. आप एक बार अगर अपना वीडियो ऑन कर लेंगे तो then there will be no confusion to anybody else who is trying to speak, ना? Okay, yes, Rachna, please.
Sir, I would like to ask about the project, BTech project. Would they be asking about deeply about the project or just an overview?
What is the title of your BTech project? You are a civil engineer, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So tell me, what was your BTech project?
Sir, analysis on ultra high performance concrete.
Okay. So how well are you prepared about this? Was it a theoretical project or was it an experimental project?
Experimental project, sir.
Experimental project. Then in that case, you will be expected to know about A, the result, the reason of their deviation from an ideal result, and what could have been done as a part of your project work to get the results closer to the expected results. ये 3 एरियाज आपसे पूछे जा सकते हैं अगर वो इंटरेस्टेड हुए तो, अदरवाइज दे विल नॉट गेट इनटू इट।
Sir, since this is related to concrete, would I be facing like related to building materials or concrete technology
कंक्रीट
related?
टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में तो आपको प्रिपेयर करके जाना पड़ेगा। इज देयर एनी आईएस कोड रिलेटेड टू कंक्रीट दैट यू
Yes.
शुड नो?
Sir, how to handle when if we are not able to answer many questions, like three or more questions straight? I don't know, like.
So then the fourth, if there is a fourth question from the same subject, you say, sir, I'm sorry, but I have not revised this subject for a very long time. However, I have prepared this subject. बोल दो.
Okay, sir.
There is a way out, no?
Yes.
Do it. But one message which I want to give to all of you is practice reading out aloud so that you don't get tongue-tied during the interview. That is very important. You don't require to join any specialized course for conversation or anything, but just practice reading out aloud for 15-20 minutes, half an hour every day, and it will help you a lot. Because you study, you prepare for exams, but there is no speaking practice. Interview and GD is about speaking. So that's why this exercise will help you greatly. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Right.
sir.
Okay, beta. Okay. Yes, somebody else was also wanting to speak.
Huh?
Yes,
Hello, sir.
Abhishek. Haan,
Good
Abhishek.
afternoon, sir.
Yes, beta.
Sir, my question was that I have done my internship in BLW, and they allocated us various sections, and I went there, but
आपके ट्रेनिंग सर्टिफिकेट में क्या लिखा हुआ है?
haven't seen them.
देखो उसको. अगर कुछ नहीं लिखा हुआ, you have done 6 weeks internship at DLW from this date to this date, wish you success in career, right? अगर तो ये लिखा हुआ है, तो आप आइडेंटिफाई करो कौन से डोमेन में आपने अपने आप को कॉन्सेंट्रेट कर. बस.
Yes, sir.
It is your choice, clearly.
So
Is
I
it
have
engine
done my,
overall? Is it piston servicing? Is it what? It is your domain then.
yes, sir.
ठीक है ना?
But I haven't seen everything observed very interesting wise. I don't have much knowledge regarding.
जिस एरिया की नॉलेज है आप उसी के ऊपर फोकस करो.
Okay, sir.
और वही बताओ उनको.
Okay, sir. So,
ठीक है?
my next question was I have done my a major project in design and manufacturing of hydrogen fuel cell.
Okay.
It was our
That is an
professors,
interesting area for them, and that is where you have to get well prepared.
sir. It was our professors' PhD thing. They
Okay.
given us to do something differently. But
No, if
our
you have
knowledge is,
if you have some key learnings from this association, it can be given, can give you a lot of advantage.
yes, sir.
ये आपके ऊपर है कि आप अपने इस एरिया को प्रिपेयर करके जाओगे तो आपको एडवांटेज मिलेगा ही मिलेगा.
Yes, sir. My role was that designing part of this fuel cell.
तो उसी के ऊपर फोकस करो तुम. Why did you go for this design? Why not any other design? What are the implications of variations in the parameters? उस एस्पेक्ट के ऊपर फोकस करो.
Sir, the design was told by our professor. Sir, you have to do it in that way.
So
We
there
just
must
follow
be
the
some
instruction.
rationale for that design, no? There must be some rationale for that design. Is it not?
Yes,
ठीक है?
yes, sir.
तो उसको थोड़ा सा अंडरस्टैंड करने की कोशिश करो और क्लियरली बोलोगे सर डिजाइन वाज गिवन बाय आवर प्रोफेसर and the
Sure.
little information we could gather from him by way of our discussion is what I'm sharing. Bas.
Yes, sir. I have studied from research paper regarding this.
तो बस फिर
fuel cell.
उसी तक अपनी लिमिट रखो.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
बस. ओके, राइट.
हेलो सर.
हरिदेव, NHAI का इन्वेस्टर प्रेजेंटेशन पढ़ लेना, उतना काफी है. उनके वेबसाइट पे जाके इन्वेस्टर प्रेजेंटेशन देख लेना, दैट इज सफिशिएंट. ओके. The dressing is included in the ONGC video fully. Kinshuk, you wanted to ask?
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, sir, my final year project is not completed yet. Sir, it was
Okay.
regarding
So
the
you are in the
sound.
final semester, na?
Yes, sir. I am in the
So
final.
that's okay. Then you can say that it's under completion. It will take another 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever time.
Sir,
But
actually,
scope
sir,
of work तो है ना आपके पास?
Sir, actually, our project is regarding the sound level measurement of the nearby college areas, sir.
ठीक
We
है.
had taken the datas and sir
Okay.
told that we will map those in ArcGIS, QGIS. Sir, I
Hmm.
don't think we had enough time to do that. So, sir
Okay.
will finally comply with these datas with the CPCB standard datas. Sir,
Okay. But that
I
part will
think
not be done by you, but that part will be done by somebody else.
yes, sir. Sir,
So you say
matlab,
that our the assignment given to us as members of the project group was to collate this data from different sources.
yes, sir.
उसको highlight करो.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है ना? क्योंकि जब टाइम ही नहीं है उसको फर्दर ले जाने का, तो वो दूसरे ग्रुप को उन्होंने हैंड ओवर करना है.
Yes, sir. Sir,
बस.
sir, what are the questions that which topics are related to this, sir? Sound L equivalent topic and that na?
You are a civil engineer. Is it with the objective of noise pollution by any chance?
Yes, sir. It is related to noise
तो बेटा
pollution.
थोड़ा सा नॉइज पोल्यूशन के बारे में पढ़ लेना.
Okay.
And the decibel levels permitted for different zones in a city.
Okay.
ठीक है ना? These
sir.
days there is a lot of talk about noise pollution, so might as well read a little about it.
So one more thing, sir.
Hmm.
I had done my internship from public health engineering. Sir,
Okay.
actually, it is a I didn't go there, sir. It is a certificate which they provided me. Sir, I
Where
told
did
that
you go for PhD training?
no, sir.
Which
No,
state?
sir. West Bengal, sir. It is PHE, Public Health Engineering.
हाँ, public health engineering. D is department, nothing else. Okay.
हाँ.
So what is the mandate of PhD department in West Bengal?
So
If there are multiple mandates, then concentrate only on one mandate
okay.
and know a little about it. बस वेबसाइट पे देख लेना उनका.
Okay, sir.
वेस्ट बंगाल गवर्नमेंट में पब्लिक हेल्थ इंजीनियरिंग का वेबसाइट जाना, उसमें एक तो ड्रिंकिंग वाटर होगा, एक कुछ और होगा, उसमें से जिस एरिया में आप कंफर्टेबल हो, just study a little about it.
Okay, sir.
And in your introduction, don't talk about your internship.
Okay, sir.
जब तक वो नहीं पूछे तब तक उसके बारे में बात मत करो. Right?
Okay.
ठीक
Okay,
है?
sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, one question is, what topics need to be prepared for the GD?
I'll cover in the session which I think I'll have to schedule it today night only from 8:30 onwards. 1.5 घंटे का सेशन होगा, 1.5 पौने 2 घंटे का सेशन होगा. आप लोग ज्वाइन करना, बहुत यूजफुल रहेगा आप लोगों को. इट विल हेल्प यू ब्रेक लॉट ऑफ मिथ्स.
So
I'll send a mail asking you to join this session. Okay.
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, so much.
Right. Okay. Yes, beta. Anybody else, or can we close the session now? All right. I think we'll close the session. पीयूष, आपकी मेंस की क्लास 9 बजे खत्म हो जाती है. 8:30 से मैं सेशन शुरू करूंगा. कोशिश करो, ज्वाइन करो. टाइम कम है इसलिए मैं आज करना चाह रहा हूं, क्योंकि 4 तारीख से सेशंस हैं. That's the only reason. I am aware of the mains classes. That's why I didn't do this session in the evening. But unfortunately, evening में करना पड़ेगा. या मैं I'll start at 9 o'clock or 8:45. 8:45 से स्टार्ट कर देंगे ताकि आपका मिनिमम ओवरलैप हो. There is no disadvantage if you don't have any internship. It was not a mandatory part of your course. Instead of internship, they asked us to do a study project. You have the alternative.
Sir,
Yes, madam.
one last question.
Yes.
Sir, I faced 2 interviews in previous 2 months, and while entering in the interview room, I feel sometimes my heartbeat get up. It happens with me. Anxiety.
Before entering the room, just take a couple of deep breaths. कुछ नहीं होगा. साइकोलॉजिकल प्रेशर अपने ऊपर बनाना बंद कर दो.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
हाँ.
And sir, thank you. It's a very good time with you. I
Right.
saw your video while preparing for bail interview of
Okay.
ONGC video. That was very helpful for me,
So
sir.
it's the same ONGC video I'm asking people to watch.
Yes, sir. It was very helpful, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you
And
so much.
I'm I only hope that all these interactions help you a lot. That's
Yes,
the
sir.
only purpose of these sessions. There is no
Definitely, sir.
other reason.
Definitely,
Okay.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks to all of you for taking out the time. My best wishes and blessings. Thank you.